What a day, what a day, what a day, what a number you know about number one, two, my me the moon.
Reviews. Star Trek Picard Season 2 Episode 5 Review. Fly Me to the Moon. Jean-Luc finally starts finding some answers as Q starts making moves in the best episode of Star Trek Picard Season 2 to date. The following contains Picard spoilers. Star Trek Picard Season 2 Episode 5. Up until now, much of Star Trek Picard Season 2 has felt a lot like an extended experiment in table setting, as the series has put various pieces into place for the larger story this season is telling. A lot of which we already knew was coming, thanks to the initial Season 2 promotional trailers. John and Nancy's Q had to show up. The timeline as we know it had to be drastically altered to include space Nazis and casual genocide. Picard and friends had to find a way back to the past with some help from one of their worst enemies, and then track down the mysterious being known as a Watcher. All to have any hope of both figuring out and fixing whatever it is Q that caused such a significant change. And now it finally feels like all that groundwork is starting to pay off. Next 360p 720p HD 1080p HD Auto 360p about Kjhgnb V164162 about Kjhgnb V164162 Fly Me to the Moon is Season 2 single quote S most entertaining hour to date. A propulsive, balanced installment that finally feels like the show is not only firing on all cylinders, but that everything is actually working toward the same narrative. Why is it so important for Q to stop Renee from going on the Europa mission? How could her specific actions or lack thereof somehow completely change the beliefs and very core of humanity going forward? It's suggested that her discovery of a sentient microorganism on the moon Io and her decision to bring it back to Earth is somehow responsible for helping to create a more open, hopeful, and curious future. And without it we end up in the nightmare hellscape of xenophobic tyranny that Picard and friends have just left behind. And to be honest, this does seem possible. After all, we can't exactly predict how we'll react to the proven confirmation that we aren't the only sentient life in the universe. But I know I'd like to believe that discovery will make us a kinder, better species than we were before. The show offers little explanation for why the supervisor assigned to watch over Renee's future is essentially a human doppelganger for Luris. The Romulan housekeeper Picard will employ hundreds of years in the future, but perhaps it's all a clever nod to some form of predestination, or the idea that some souls are simply tied to others across however many years and realities. I am a romantic at heart, Sumi. Even if I don't necessarily buy this whole Picard is emotionally dead inside thing that season 2 seems so eager to sell me. But, plus we do get official confirmation that this watcher is connected to Gary 7 and the Star Trek, the original series episode Assignment Earth, so House of an extremely nerdy deep cut show. Which, by the way, was also a story about protecting space exploration, for what that's worth. Back on the La Serena, Agnes is forced to kill the Borg Queen after she lures a French police officer to the ship with grand plans of assimilating and taking over his body. It's not entirely clear what the Queen means to do with this new human form. But I suppose out of everyone in our motley crew of time travelers she has the least to lose should the timeline become irrevocably broken in some new and different way than it was before. And, of course, this is Star Trek, so even though her body has been shot, she's not really dead, and now appears to exist as a mental passenger in Agnes's mind, courtesy of a remnant of her consciousness left behind during their mental connection back in assimilation. Part of me loves the idea of your eye having to essentially carry Agnes wherever she goes. And there's something strangely poetic about the woman who has been left alone in every reality finally getting a permanent mental co-pilot in this way. But it also seems like a sure path to darkness and probable insanity, so maybe not. And as I'm one of the few who genuinely loves Agnes, that certainly isn't a future I want for her. But if the Borg Queen isn't really most sincerely dead, it at least means that there is still a way for the La Serena to make it home when all this is over. Elsewhere, Raffi and Seven rescue Reyes from the clutches of ice with an ease that makes me wonder once more what exactly the point of that entire subplot was and why we needed to waste time on it. But at least everyone's back together again in time to plan their Ocean's 11-style gala break-in to protect and watch over Renee. The whole concept gives me serious Stardust City rag vibes, and since that was my favorite season 1 episode, I'm very eager to see how this all shakes out next week now that Agnes has managed to get herself snatched by security on purpose. If we're lucky, maybe Picard will have to do another ridiculous accent. Fingers crossed. But fly me to the moon's most intriguing twist comes with the revelation that Q is not simply content to sabotage Rene Picard's trip to space. He's also busy manipulating another familiar face with a connection to stories we've already seen. Brent Spiner is back as Dr. Soong, just not one we've met before. An apparent ancestor of both Noonien and Alden Inigo Soong, this man is a geneticist named Adam, whose daughter, Kerr, is the spitting image of Vision Sojiasha. She has a very rare, deadly genetic disorder that renders the outside world so toxic to her that she is forced to essentially live her life in a single room. And we have to presume that she's somehow the inspiration for the Asha sisters who come later. Q promises to cure her after cruelly giving Soong a taste of what it might be like for his daughter to finally be able to live something like a normal life in exchange for something. What? We don't know, but it seems unlikely that it's anything good. Written by Lacey Barr. Lacey Barr is a digital producer by day, but a television enthusiast pretty much all the time. Her writing has been featured in Paste Magazine, Collider. Read more from Lacey Barr.
No. Remember in the forward no. They were like it, but and ever can you remember the real I don't remember the
Reviews. Star Trek, Picard Season 2 Episode 6 Review. Star Trek, Picard Season 2 Episode 6 Review. 2 for 1. Star Trek, Picard continues firing on all cylinders as Jean-Luc tries to convince his ancestor Rene to go to the stars. The following contains Star Trek, Picard spoilers. Star Trek, Picard Season 2 Episode 6. Any episode of Star Trek, Picard that features the La Sirena crew gussied up in formal wear, finds an excuse for a random musical interlude, and features Patrick Stewart giving a heartfelt pep talk to a young woman doubting her own strength is automatically going to be an instant classic in my book. Is 2 for 1 a perfect hour? No. Does everything that happens in it even fully make sense? Not really. But this episode is full of that magical alchemy of heart and hope that is so purely Star Trek that it's impossible to look away from, even during its most head-scratching moments. Of course, the setting helps a great deal. Picard and friends must infiltrate a swanky gala that's taking place to honor the Europa mission astronauts, which naturally involves a complicated plan to hack their way to the security base with several near misses and almost discoveries along the way. Dress ranking, your audience red number is killer, but that teal color looks great on 7. The secret mission vibes are lots of fun, and offer plenty of opportunities for the sort of light-hearted moments we haven't had the chance to see a lot this season, what with all the encroaching authoritarianism and alien genocide. From Rios' love of non-replicator-made food to Hirati's snarky arguments with the Borg Queen that's apparently taken up permanent residence in her head. I honestly wouldn't have minded watching the gang drink and spy on Picard's great-great-cousin Rene for a bit longer. 2 for 1's best moment, naturally, revolves around the moment the two Picards finally meet. Rene, afraid of failure and feeling alone in her own darkness, and Jean-Luc, lost in time and having been himself where she is now, share a lovely moment talking about the paralyzing nature of fate and their shared love of the stars, as he convinces her to grab onto the chance she's been training for and join her fellow astronauts in quarantine. This show is full of small moments highlighting what a tremendous actor Patrick Stewart is, but if this episode isn't his Emmy reel, I'll be shocked. It's his most emotionally moving, most complete work as an actor yet this season, and though he and actress Penelope Mitchell only share a pair of brief scenes together, they have fantastic chemistry. The look-up reminder shared across literal centuries is going to stay in my head for a while. Just so lovely. The episode's framing device of a countdown to the moment Picard is hit by a car is a choice, particularly given that we all already know he's not in any real danger after all. The news that most of the Star Trek, The Next Generation cast is joining Picard Season 3 was just announced this week. Why does Soong decide to tell Picard he's been tasked with stopping Rene? Why does he just go home after his murder attempt fails? How come Rios' nice doctor friend doesn't seem to really notice that Picard doesn't exactly have a standard-issue human body anymore? And who drives a possibly dying man across town in Los Angeles traffic? These are all weird things that happen. Elsewhere, the revelation that Dr. Adamson is perhaps the darkest branch of his admittedly very messed up family tree is disturbing on multiple levels. According to the article's Kerr finds, he's had his medical license revoked on the basis of multiple ethics violations and been accused of conducting illegal genetic experiments on homeless veterans. It's not clear whether he's somehow been cloning the different versions of Kerr who came before her, genetically altering embryos, or what, exactly. But given the sheer volume of files on his desktop, whatever he's been doing has been going on for a very long time. Kerr, by the way, is another name for the goddess Persephone, who appears to have been the namesake of Soong's first child. There is something darkly fitting that he's come full circle with this one, that he seems for some reason to assume is his last attempt. What his ultimate goal is with Kerr specifically or all the other experiments that came before her is unclear. Why does she look exactly like Bjujnv Sojiasha? Does Adam Soong's work connect to that of his descendants in some way? Is his failure to clone make create humans the reason later generations of the Soong family turned to androids and synthetics? Props to Brent Spiner though, who does seem to be having a fantastic time playing a Soong that's very quickly unraveling. Speaking of people who deserve praise, let's give it up for Jonathan Frakes, who directed this episode, and gave us some of the most memorable shots of the season, especially that final look at a board-controlled Agnes wandering the streets of Los Angeles barefoot in that flowing red dress. 2-for-1 does a great job flipping between perspectives involving Urati talking to real people versus the board queen in her head, and Alison Pill's performance skillfully delineates which being we're dealing with in the body they both share. There is something so wonderfully dumb and hopeful about Ames being so unwilling to truly kill the board queen that she essentially allowed her to take up space in her body, and not, I suspect, solely because she was worried about the Serena Cruz way home. She's genuinely trying to be a better person than she was before. Plus, some part of her probably does enjoy feeling seen in a way she often is not. A desire, I suspect she's about to suffer for. Written by Lacey Barr. Lacey Barr is a digital producer by day, but a television enthusiast pretty much all the time. Her writing has been featured in Paste Magazine, Collider. Read more from Lacey Barr.
so then for episode no ever no please and please